Hello, my name is Dr. Arup Banerjee. I'm a naturopathic doctor and licensed acupuncturist. And today we'll talk about holistic stress management through naturopathy, medicine, acupuncture, and yoga. So as an overview, what we'll discuss is what is stress, what are the different effects of stress in the body, and what are some naturopathic medicine, acupuncture, and yoga techniques to help you manage stress. So, first of all, what is stress? Stress is the tension you feel when there are more demands than you and your body can handle. And these pressures may arise from work, relationships, home issues, or other responsibilities. So what are the types of stress? Well, there's financial stress. So right now, gasoline prices are almost $3 a gallon or more in some states. So that's the type of financial stress. Then there's physical stress. So someone may be sitting down at a desk job 8 hours a day. Then there's mental stress, anxiety that can arise from the job, from home, from personal issues. So are all types of stressors bad? Well, actually, there's a type of stress called eustress, and this is a good type of stress that happens in pleasant or rewarding situations. This type of stress that helps an athlete win an event or helps an actor give a great performance. And this graph here on your left shows that there's actually a certain type. You can have stress on one end where it's called de-stress, and you have very low arousal, very boredom type of feeling. At the other end of this curve, you have something called also de-stress, and that can result in being too many demands in the body. But there's an optimum amount of stress right in the middle called eustress, and that results in the optimum performance. So the other type of stress we call de-stress is unhealthy stress. And this is also called negative stress. This is something associated with something called the fight or flight response of the nervous system. It can be sudden or chronic. So what are biochemical changes that result from chronic stress? Well, in the brain, there are different thermostats that regulate different bodily functions. If these thermostats malfunction due to stress, different signs and symptoms occur, such as increased blood pressure, increased blood sugar, less blood to your organs of digestion, and more blood to the muscle. So on this graph, on this picture here, you have one side called the sympathetic, and the other side called the parasympathetic. And the sympathetic side generally is associated with high stress in the body, and that is what results in the fight or flight mode. So when someone is approached or approached by someone they don't know, they get frightened, their eyes might get dilated, their heart will beat faster, they'll breathe deeper, and there'll be less blood going to your digestive organs and more blood going to your muscles because your body is in a mode of trying to get away from some scaring event. The other side, there's something called a parasympathetic, and that has to do with more of the rest and digest phase. So in that case, you have more blood going to your digestion and so forth. So what are health conditions that are associated with excess stress? Well, stress can affect all types of different body systems. It can affect the heart, resulting in hypertension. It can affect the production of serotonin and melatonin, affecting sleep. It can affect the adrenal gland, resulting in fatigue. It can affect your colon and your intestinal tract, resulting in diarrhea, constipation. And it can also affect the production of stomach acid, resulting in heartburn. or acid reflux. So how to handle stress? Well, Hans Selye said this quote. He was a famous Canadian physiologist who studied stress. And he said, our aim shouldn't be to completely avoid stress, but to learn how to recognize our typical response to stress, and then try to modulate our lives in accordance with it. So what we can do to handle stress is, since we can't necessarily remove the stress, what we can do is we can take steps to prevent the damaging effects of stress in the body, and we can change how our body perceives stress through naturopathic medicine, yoga techniques, and acupuncture. So, stress prevention through naturopathy. So, there are certain ways where we can help stress is through nutrition, aromatherapy, meditation, and laughing. So we'll discuss more of these naturopathic techniques next. So as far as nutrition, the approach here is to eat certain foods or avoid certain foods that can help your body handle stress. So one aspect of nutrition is to balance blood sugar. When we are in the fight or flight mode, our blood sugar gets distorted. And by eating fiber-rich foods, we can help stabilize this blood sugar effect. Also, when we are stressed, we tend to lose a lot of potassium and increase the sodium into our body. So we want to eat foods high in potassium and low in sodium, and that will place less stress on the adrenal glands. And examples of foods that are high in potassium and low in sodium are fruits and vegetables. And finally, you want to focus on a diet that is high in antioxidants. Because when we're stressed and when the sugar is out of control, that results in some type of a rusting in the body. And so fruits generally are high in compounds that can neutralize these rust-like things in the body. And on the picture on the right shows different types of foods that have different antioxidant values. Chocolate is very top there, other fruits have it, and each fruit and food has different antioxidant values, or we call it the ORAC score. So what about aromatherapy for stress management? Well, what is aromatherapy? Aromatherapy is essentially inhaling essential oils from various plants, and they have an effect on the limbic system of the brain. And the limbic system of the brain is related to emotions. And simply, when you smell something that has a pleasant smell, that results in pleasant memories and less stress. So certain foods like, or certain essential oils such as jasmine, lavender, rosemary would trigger these type of pleasant emotions. Now, when you smell something that you don't like, that results in unpleasant thoughts and more stress. So an example would be like something like a skunk. But what about meditation for stress management? Well, the brain, there are different brain waves that the brain can experience. There's fast brain waves, such as what we call beta brain waves, and then there's very slow ones called delta. That's when you're really in deep sleep. And the ones called alpha and theta, those are the brain waves that puts the brain in a very relaxed state. And so one way to achieve this alpha theta state is to listen to music that is very soothing, calming, and there's actually a type of music you can get called brainwave music, which can be very beneficial to achieve this type of alpha theta brainwave state. And finally, there's laughing. And you may have seen the movie Patch Adams, the true story about a doctor that essentially used laughing to help people heal. He actually opened up an institute and where laughter is a big part of healing. And laughter has been shown in studies to lower blood pressure, reduce stress hormones, release endorphins, and boost the immune system. And A final natural technique is yoga. Now, yoga is a type of therapeutic exercises from India to promote overall health. And yoga essentially has a strong effect on balancing the nervous system. And when you can balance the nervous system, you can help your body perceive stress or deal with stress in a healthy way. Now, what about acupuncture? Well, acupuncture is a branch of Chinese medicine. Other branches of Chinese medicine include massage, Chinese meditation, or we call it Qigong, Chinese herbal medicines, and diet therapies. And on a time scale, it's about 2,000 years old. And the base of acupuncture is that there's something called energy or qi flowing through the highways. This good energy flow through the body, then you have good health. When you have bad energy flow, some obstruction, you have disease. The goal of acupuncture then is to locate blocked energy highways and restore the proper energy flow through these highways. Now, there's different types of acupuncture. There's body acupuncture, scalp acupuncture, hand acupuncture, and then there's something called ear acupuncture. And the ear acupuncture is really unique because it is a way to treat the whole body. As you can see here in this picture, the ear looks like an inverted baby. And as I mentioned, there are different thermostats in the brain that regulate different functions, such as sleeping, breathing, and pain. And ear acupuncture has been very effective to help reset the thermostats in the brain. And when this type of acupuncture is done in conjunction with other therapies such as aromatherapy, guided imagery, and yoga, then the effects can be more lasting and more beneficial. So if you like to benefit from acupuncture and see how it can help you, I can be reached at the West Wing in Elkhart General Hospital in Elkhart, Indiana. My office hours are Saturdays from 10 to 6 p.m. I can be reached at 574-389-5642 or 574-903-4471. If you'd like to make an appointment, you can call those numbers, or you can go to online at www.acundmed.com. Thank you, and hope you learned a lot.